Friends, welcome in RBC Online. I am Dattatreya Raut, Human Health and Diseases. Today we have to discuss about the new aspect, Ascariasis. Now, in the Ascariasis is a very common diseases which will be occurs in humans caused by the roundworm. The Ascariasis is caused by the Ascariasis lumbricoides. So, Ascariasis, it is an infectious disease of human intestinal tract, which cause the common to the intestinal tract caused by the roundworm, and this roundworm is the name is the Ascariasis lumbricoides. This Ascariasis lumbricoides is an endoparasitic roundworm, also known as the nematode. Is the very common type of the endoparasite which is the occur in the intestinal tract, which cause the infections to the intestinal tract, and this infection is caused by the Ascariasis lumbricoides. This Ascariasis lumbricoides, which is the very infectious to the majority of the intestinal tracts. So in the intestinal tract there is a infection to the linings of the intestinal tracts, tissues, mucous membranes are caused by the such type of the Ascariasis lumbricoides. Friends, these are the very common type of the diseases, that is Ascariasis. And so this Ascariasis question may be asked in the board examinations, as well as Neet examinations, as well as the CET examinations. As per the examination point of view, the Ascariasis is caused by the endoparasite, that is Ascariasis is caused by the Ascariasis lumbricoides, is endoparasitic roundworms, which is also known as nematodes. So this Ascariasis lumbricoids, which is the site of the infection, is the human intestinal tract. Ascariasis is infectious disease. Then next concept of regards to the Ascariasis is the mode of transmission. The mode of transmission is the take place, infection is take place when a healthy person acquires this infection through the contaminated water and vegetables and fruits. When healthy persons eat the waters, drink the waters, take vegetables, fruits, these are the contaminated, which are having the number of the contaminations on the in the waters, vegetables and fruits. So healthy persons, such type of the infection is acquired through the contaminated water, vegetables and fruits. Then another mode of infection or the another mode of transmission is the eggs of the parasite are excreted along with the feces of infected persons, which contaminate soil, water and plants. Any infected persons that will be excreted out the fecal matter fecal matter, and this fecal matter are the contain the egg of the parasite into parasite that is known as the Ascariasis lumbricoids. These eggs of the endoparasite is excreted along with the fecal matter of the infected person, and which contaminate the soil and water and plants. Soil is with endoparasite because they excreted the eggs of the parasite into parasite Ascariasis lumbricoids, which may be contaminated the soil and water and plants. Such eggs hatch when are these contact with the healthy person with the soil, water and plants. The eggs hatch inside the intestine of the new host. Eggs hatch inside the intestine of the new host. Eggs hatch inside the. Now these eggs, when are they enter into the body, then goes to the intestine of the host. Then these eggs hatch the new host of the intestine, and the larvae pass through the various organs and settle as a result and a digestive system. The larvae, which is the develop from the egg, which is the hatch in the intestine of the new host, and these larvae pass through the various organs and settle as adult in the digestive system. That will be a larvae pass through the various organs, and that will be settled as a adult in the digestive system. So mode of transmission, which is the major or usually transmitted or the caused by the infection, is caused through the contaminated waters, contaminated vegetables and contaminated fruits. These are the main sources to cause the infection. With those are the infected one. And the soil, wind, are waters are and plants, these are also the responsible to infection to the healthy persons. These are the mode of transmission of the Ascariasis, which is the caused by the Ascariasis lumbricoids. This Ascariasis lumbricoids is the pass from this infected person to the healthy person to the different ways. Now these are the another cyclic representation of the mode of transmissions. When human ingests the unfertilized egg or fertilized egg of endoparasite Ascariasis lumbricoids, and this when healthy person ingests the unfertilized egg and fertilized egg of the Ascariasis lumbricoids, and this goes to the diagnosis of larval Ascariasis. When goes to the intestinal tract, and then diagnosis of larval Ascariasis, there is a clinical examinations, image based diagnosis, serological detection. There are the different ways to detect the Ascariasis: clinical examination, image based diagnosis, and serological detection. Diagnosis of adult intestinal worms. When this such type of the larvae, larval Ascariasis, when the eggs are enter into the healthy person's body, that will be hatched in the intestine and form the larvae. This larval Ascariasis goes to examinations. Then these larval Ascariasis goes to the different organs and goes to the infection cause, and then with the adult Ascariasis is present in the settled down or they settle in the intestinal tract. Diagnosis of adult intestinal worm, that is a clinical examination, worm expulsion, serological detection, and another one is the molecular examination. There are the two types of the worms, that is known as the male worms and female worms, male Ascariasis and female Ascariasis. The male and female Ascariasis, these are the diagnosis of the adult intestinal worms. Then goes to the formation of the such type of the eggs, and then diagnosis of the fecal Ascariasis egg, which is the microscopic examination of the stools. Molecular examination is also done to diagnosis of the fecal Ascariasis eggs, the eggs which is the present. So in this way, mode of transmissions are the take place. There is a infection of the Ascariasis, which is the infect to the healthy persons, so that in the healthy persons, which is the infected by the different ways, after the infection there is a cause, the signs and symptoms. The signs and symptoms is the very peculiar ones, that will be signs and symptoms is the, because the Ascariasis lumbricoides, which is the infected to the intestinal tract, and this gastrointestinal infection caused the discomfort accompanied with vomiting and fever. When the Ascariasis lumbricoids are infected to the intestinal tract, the persons is feel discomfort and accompanied with vomiting and fever. Then another signs and symptoms of the Ascariasis is the presence of the live worms in a fecal matter. A fecal matters are contain the live presence of the worms. Then third, a presence of the live worms in the intestinal tract, that will be goes through the stools, goes through the fecal matter and excreted out from the infected persons to the comes in a contact with water soils and the another parts. So pulmonary disorders occurs in some patients. Those patients are the suffer from the Ascariasis, which show the pulmonary disorders occurs in some patients: pneumonitis, inflammation in alveolar walls. Pulmonary disorders occurs in some patients: pneumonitis, that is inflammation in alveolar walls. The alveolar wall is present in the alveolar sacs, and this alveolar sac is the present in the lungs. So this pulmonary means a lungs related disorder are caused in some patients that will be suffer from the Ascariasis. Also show the pneumonitis, that will be concerned to the lungs disorders, inflammation in alveolar walls. Next one, signs and symptoms is the loss of appetite and weight also. So this weight loss or the loss of appetite due to the presence of the intestinal due to the presence of the Ascariasis lumbricoid in the intestine, there is a loss of appetite. The persons not feel to eat the any foods, not have to any eat the fruits or vegetables or any type of the foods, are not have a feel, a loss of appetite, and also the weight is lost due to the not take properly diet and eating. vegetables and fruits and foods. Then another signs and symptoms is the eosinophilia. The eosinophilia is the increase in the bloods. The number of the eosinophils are the increase. The eosinophils is the one type of the WBC, red blood cells, white blood cells, that will be eosinophils, which is the increase if the patients or the persons are suffer from the Ascariasis lumbricoid, that will be suffer from the Ascariasis lumbricoids. These are the general discuss regards to the signs and symptoms. Board examination question may be asked for the 2 marks. Give the signs and symptoms. Give the sign and symptoms of Ascariasis. You have to write properly. Given a points, you write. Question may be asked in a Neet examinations. What is mean by the eosinophilia? Eosinophilia is the disease increase the eosinophils in number of eosinophils are the increase in what condition? In Ascariasis, the patient are suffer from the Ascariasis. Eosinophilia is cause. Eosinophilia, the number of eosinophils is increased. Loss of appetite, weight loss, pulmonary disorders in some patients, pneumonitis, presence of the live worms in the fecal matters, presence of the live worms in the fecal matters, gastrointestinal discomforts, vomitings and fever. You can also see on these pictures. There are the different. I have to show the some pictures regards to the signs and symptoms of the Ascariasis, that is discomfort. First picture shows the discomfort of gastrointestinal tracts, vomitings, then a presence of the live worms in the intestinal tracts, then weight loss, eosinophilia, then a diagnosis and the treatment. Diagnosis and treatment is the essential to after the symptoms and signs are shown by the patients, which is the nearest to comes to the conclusion. What type of the disease are caused? What are the type of the infection is caused? Nearest to conclusion, but there is a final decision to take a diagnosis. Diagnosis can be done by the microscopic examination of the stool. Diagnosis can be done by the microscopic examination of the stool. Microscopic examination of the stool is the essential because in a stool there is a presence of the live worms, Ascariasis lumbricoids. There is a treatment is essential after the diagnosis of the Ascariasis. It is essential to cure the patients which suffer from the Ascariasis. So anti-helminthic drugs like the piperazine, mebendazole, levamisole, parental are effective against the Ascariasis lumbricoids. Such type of the treatment is the available against the Ascariasis. These are the anti-helminthic drugs, which is called as the anti-helminthic drugs, like the piperazine, mebendazole, levamisole, parental are the effective drugs, effective against the Ascariasis lumbricoids, that will be prescribed by the medical practitioner. It is essential to show the symptoms to the doctor at the time of the given a history of a disease to the doctors. Patient is very transparent to give all the correct information to the doctor when asked about diseases and signs and symptoms. Then will be goes to the proper diagnosis and provide the treatment, proper treatment, and goes to the proper channels to cure the Ascariasis. Then goes to the prevention and control. Is an essential part of the Ascariasis to control and prevent such type of the Ascariasis. Avoiding the defecations in open space prevent the spread of Ascariasis. Is a very easy and simple prevention. Every person is right to duty to do not excretate the defecations or the stool in open space. That will be goes in a proper ways to the toilets, avoiding the defecation in open space. These are the large problems in India, in a rural area, also in a metropolitan cities. Number of people goes to the defecation in open space. So these are the essential to prevent the defecations in open space, avoiding the defecation in open space, prevent the spread of the Ascariasis. Personal hygiene habits like the washing hands with waters, personal hygienic habits like the washing hands with the waters, soap, with the use of the soap after using toilets are also important to prevention. A personal hygienic habit is a very essential and important, play the important role to the preventions of any type of the diseases. Wash the hands with the waters, hot waters properly. Soap are used after using the toilets are also important. Washing the vegetables thoroughly before cooking and avoiding the raw vegetables is important for the prevention of Ascariasis. Washing the vegetable thoroughly before cooking, avoiding the raw vegetables is important for the prevention of Ascariasis. Overall discussion regard to the Ascariasis. What is Ascariasis? Then mode of transmission of the Ascariasis, sign and symptoms of the Ascariasis, diagnosis and treatment of the Ascariasis, prevention and control of the Ascariasis, all detailed to discuss in this lectures, in this video. I am Dattatreya Raut in RBC online by Dattatreya Raut. I have to request to all the viewers, if my video you to like, please subscribe, like and share to your friends that will be concerned to the science, 12 science and Neet and CAT preparations. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Dhanyavad. Thank you.